On one of his nightly patrols, he accidentally phased through the very fabric of reality. Man then takes a page out of Aura Man's book, letting a tanker blow up for the fit pick. Oh, and guess what? Bin gets a killdozer too. Sadly, due to not having any friends, we can't race them. Let me introduce you to the TB Pie suit. In a show of immense charity, Man gifts Bin his new suit, the Rec suit, no relation to the gun, ACWOT or AQUAT suit, which stands for a complete waste of time. That Man unlocks what I've dubbed the JBL suit. No, not after John Bradshaw Layfield, after the speaker brand. Here, let me show you a quick demonstration. Himself and his sometimes useless boy Blunder got 350 kills, proving that even though they're strangers in a strange land, they're killers until the end. Welcome back. Man and Bin have been back out on the prowl since we last saw them, hunting down more criminals and filling up their bank accounts after amassing $426,910 in their first few days in this brave new world. After putting away the nearly Sinister Six in their last venture into the mean streets of Gotham City, the pair have been alerted to a new set of victims to put away. A tough task awaits the pair as they need to chill out and face a cold criminal contingent, a group composed of the Wizard of Cobb, Bone, Cat, Batman, and the Big Chiller, who plan on blowing Gotham City up using the Wizard of Cobb's new minions, an army of Phillips. That's the name of these things, they're all called Philip. This is the only time I'll do this, and feel free to skip, but if you haven't, go and check out my new podcast. The first episode is out now, and I'll link it in the pinned comment. The first episode is with the Atom Smith, so if you want to go and support that, that would mean a lot, and we've got some really cool guests coming on soon. Anyway, back to the video. But now we know what the boys are up against and what they're trying to stop. Welcome to the second episode of the... We open with Cat stealing an overly expensive gem from a nearby gallery, and conveniently enough, Man and Bin are also going to steal the gem. Times are tough as we know, so they try to intervene and stop Cat while also getting their hands on the gem. Our first batch of kills come when Man goes into autopilot and punches this man across the street, before, with the help of Bin, they take out 8 of this chapter's goons. The boys engage in some light property damage to quite literally beat every cent out of the underworld, before 3 more criminals are met with the swift hands of death, and after that little scuffle, Man, using his otherworldly vision, spots a rat in the corner of his eye, and so he runs after them, beating them to death as he used to back in the real world. Man then commits Grand Theft Auto, building this tiny vehicle and stealing it from this garage, driving it straight past 2 rats and into another fight. Mimicking Bin's awe-inspiring bike-powered fly kick, Man flies off the small vehicle and boots the single goon into the wall, killing him. Bin enters his new suit, the Freaky Foot suit, and the pair begin scaling the buildings surrounding them. It's here, in Man's most brutal kill of his time in this new world so far, he punches this man off the balcony and sends him plummeting to his death, proving that this is the same man who sent all those poor unfortunate thugs to their doom in the real world. For whatever reason, only known to Barbatos and Man himself, a handful of thugs are left alive here. Clearly Man has plans for them, because there's no way he'd leave them to live. Alas, the pair head into the next section of the mission, where they're met with a group of 3 thugs who are put to the sword, before 2 more enter the fray and are swiftly dealt with in usual style. Man equips the AQUAT suit and glides down to another building, crafting a bridge from nothing but scrap he found laying around on the floor to let Bin cross the gap safely. Once over to the other side, Man jumps these 2 unsuspecting thugs, letting the light fade from their eyes as he pummels them, and in his rage, jumps down, kills 3 more thugs, and beats the ever-loving god out of this array of various trash cans. A bit like that scene in The Dark Knight Rises where Bane just beats the hell out of a wall. Man and Bin try to make good on their promise to make a better city, and so begin some light horticulture, but are interrupted by 3 men who hate fun and colourful things. They're easily brought to their doom, but not before Man finishes uncovering his flowers. After planting their garden and reaping the early financial benefit from its roots, 3 more garden haters drop by and they're murdered in record time as their blood feeds the plants of justice. Man then hops in the man mower and chops his garden down, just like in our green friend's house, because despite his clear love for the game of gardening, Man loves money above all else. Bin then uses the Freaky Foot suit to scale this tower before slaughtering its 2 occupiers before the pair get over to the adjacent building, where they kill 2 more thugs and another rat. Cat then appears wanting to defend her precious gem, but Man Man's hammers of justice are unisex, so he and his protege begin raining down punches and kicks on the feline friend to try and steal her stolen goods back. She then flees the scene, so the boys give chase, clearing this gap and adding 3 more victims to the count. Another 3 enemies fall to the sword of justice before Man puts on the famous TB pie suit before Bin spends like 5 minutes trying to hack this control board using the freaky foot suit, because remember guys, he is incompetent. 2 more enemies come to remind Bin of his stupidity, but well, they both get slaughtered. The pair leave, Bin about to crash out over his own mind-numbing fuckwittery, and they kill 3 more thugs, saving a hostage who must be able to give them some financial help, otherwise they'd have probably killed him too. After taking way too long to put the bricks together though, Bin dons the wreck suit and commands this tiny car into this glass house, flipping these switches and mowing the lawn to collect some of that sweet dollar. The main man, uses his intimate knowledge of mechanical engineering and constructs a small but functional attack helicopter. Anyway, Bin grabs onto the bottom of it, attempting to hijack it and get in the driver's seat, but Man holds him off before crashing the helicopter and killing someone. 2 thugs actually run off, clearly the message has been delivered, and the duo of criminals manage to escape, for now. After entering the apartment below, 2 more thugs get added to the count, and then another 2 further along the balcony. We finally catch up to Kat, who seems to have gathered a rather large health bar, but she's protected by these flying goons, 2 of which are the same 2 who ran from us earlier, but they are quickly disposed of, as are the next batch of 3 who try their luck against us, and one final thug tries to make his stand against the dynamic duo, but, well, you catch the drift. Kat tries to escape, but Man begins letting his lust consume him, and Bin nearly throws up because he's an immature little clown. That doesn't change the fact she launches the gem thereafter off the roof though, and after Kat is taken to the police she begins trying to escape again, so Man, probably not realising she isn't an actual cat, rather a woman in a suit, lays out some milk and oh my god I'll be damned it worked. He launches her in the back of the van at Mach 3 and that brings her night to an end, for now at least. The boys spot some hooligans breaking the Gotham docks speed limit, so they jump in their specialised boat and the hunt begins to stop the speedsters. This level's count will be a little different. See, the Wizard of Cobb sends some serious weaponry after us, including submarines and these what I can only assume are unmanned frog boats, so we'll only be adding a kill or 3 kills given our rules from previous episodes if we see the boys take out a penguin sub. With the bread meter once again empty and the criminal scum of Gotham out on the water, the boys launch into action and start by killing a lone sub followed by another pair of subs attempting to bring the pair's night to an end. After blowing open a gate using one of these really dangerous and ill-placed water nukes, 3 more penguin subs are sliced open and filled with ham. That was supposed to be funny because subs could also mean like Subway, so I was trying to make like a Subway joke. Please subscribe. 3 more subs fall to the watery graves of Gotham docks, and another lone sub tries his luck and falls short of the mark. For some reason, the Wizard of Cobb must love sending things out in batches of 3s because, well, 9 more kills are added to the count. Cobb finally must have figured out how to count past 3, as 5 of his Cobb subs are sent out to stop the dynamic dimwits, but they're all blown up, as is the norm. And after doing some sick burnouts, we enter the next arena where 6 more Cobb subs are sent to swim with the fishes. As the pair stumble around the arena trying to figure out what to do, 2 more subs are brought down, and as they figure out what to do, yet another 2 subs are brought down by crashing down to Davy Jones's locker. Another sub explodes off screen, and another 2 are taken out, and just like that we move on, but not before taking out one final sub. The boys have an intense stare down with the wizard and oh my god, he's beautiful. Don't worry, Chiller, I'm coming. I'm also going to get you. I don't know if I can leave that in. I'm going to leave that in. To get to Croc though, we have to bomb the Wizard of Cobb's super sub, and to do that we have to control these stupidly difficult bombs that are just kind of lying around in Gotham docks, which are extremely dangerous. I mean, imagine if the big Chiller was swimming around in the docks and he hit one of them. Disgraceful. Anyway, there aren't any kills here as we sunk Cobb's entire fleet of Cobb subs, so after nuking his submarine and scaring him and Chiller off, the boys jump onto land and confront the pair, and as they do, Croc begins flexing before he rips this plate off the wall and just beheads Bin. Anyway, with Bin dead, Man recruits a new boy oh no, he's still alive, god damn it. Chiller and Cobb begin heading into the sewers, and so the boys give chase. Making their way into the Gotham City sewers, Man and Bin have a thought. Why has everyone in their world got silly names? The locations, the people, the criminals, all of them have silly names aside from the city they inhabit. It's almost like whichever almighty power brought them into existence was too lazy to think of a funny name for the city. Anyway, after using the last of their combined brain cells to have that existential crisis, Man and Bin go crocodile hunting, and Bin, the imbecile he is, tries to challenge a standard sewer croc to a taekwondo match. The crocodile runs away though, scared of Bin's track record. Two blue baddies try to defend Chillicroc, but they're pretty easily dealt with before Bin thundercunts a rat against a wall. The boy blunder dons the freaky foot suit and kills two more enemies, and proceeds to climb this wall, allowing Man to access the TB pie suit, which in turn allows them to open this door. After collecting some more of that sweet moolah, the boys are shot by various men wearing used male contraceptive methods on their heads. Man deals with 3 of the ground goons before he slices 2 of them in half using his manarangs, and then kills another thug, adding him to the graveyard. Back on the ground floor though, the two dispose of 3 more thugs as the UMCM thugs, I'm not even going to explain that one, continue to rain down fire on them, but in one fell swoop, Man kicks one thug and takes the other UMCM thug out using a quick fire manarang. While trying to get a change of clothes for Bin, one singular rather ballsy thug tries his luck and gets demolished as is expected. Bin manages though to don the lead suit. I call it this because it allows Bin to just like sort of sink to the bottom of bodies of water and walk around like nothing is affecting him, which is an insane ability to have on a suit. In his new suit though, Bin spin kicks this thug to death, presumably out of anger for how ugly it is. The lead loser goes dollar hunting, leaving Man to fight 3 thugs off by himself, but obviously he has no problems with them and actually holds them off, losing no health in the process. Bin resurfaces to 4 more thugs which are struck down by his lead hands, and after blowing a hole in the wall, Man and Bin are jumped by 4 more of the UMCM thugs, and they're all used once again, this time as a warning to their peers. The warning, however, doesn't get into their heads, and another batch drop in and are sent to hell, where they'll be punished for their awful fashion sense. Our pair both get new suits at the exact same time for the first time in the series, this time donning the Aquat and Freaky Foot suits at the same time. Bin then finds the family of crocodiles of the croc he challenged to a match earlier, and he killed them. He killed them all. They're dead, every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women and the children too. They're literally animals, and he slaughtered them like animals. He hates them. Later on down the sewers though, the boys are jumped by 2 rapidly expanding thugs who, as quickly as they expanded, were shrunk back down to size. Another Lone Ranger is quickly given the Carson Wells treatment as he swiftly ended without warning, although he probably knew his time was up. Man tries to build, oh god, I can't believe I'm about to write this, but edit it, then listen to it back, edit it again, and then put it into a video. Man tries to build a skibby... No, I can't do it. I won't do it. Man tries to build a toilet, but he's interrupted, and his dark passenger is pleased as he kills them both, and another rapidly expanding thug tries it, and fails it. Again with the lone thugs. Man then forms a crocodile, presumably to trick the real ones into believing he's a friend, but the croc attempts to kidnap him, but not before he jumps on him, spewing his guts all over the floor as he does, but thankfully the croc's guts are actually made of pure dollars. Unfortunately, Bin has to don that god-awful lead suit again, but this time it's for a very good reason. He needs it so the pair can finally get to meet Chillicroc, the very backbone of the Man and subsequent Lego Man universes. After taking out 3 more thugs, the main event is here. The reason we're all gathered today. If you're new here and are confused as to why this is such a big moment, Chillicroc is not only my favourite Man villain, but his real world counterpart, Killicroc, is my favourite Batman villain, and he was in the first serial killer run, and he was one of the first villains to get a silly name bestowed upon him way back in the Arkham Asylum serial killer run. So yeah, this is a pretty big moment, and well, it comes as quick as it goes. Using Bin as a human shield, we dodge Croc's projectiles and eventually just kick the leather off of him. I'm not a fan of ever hurting the big chiller, but this felt especially dirty. After he's turned into the most chill pair of shoes of all time though, he drops us a free couples coupon to go to the Gotham City Zoo, so that's where we'll go. Pulling up to the zoo and playing with the frogs, Man and Bin quickly get to grips with the simple joys of a family day out at the zoo. Man rides the mechanical penguin, which begins playing some chill lo-fi beats, but justice waits for no man, not even the man. 2 intruders who didn't pay their ticket price get in the father and son's way, and are quickly and swiftly asked to leave the park, before they enter the gift shop. Inside the gift shop they realise something though. They didn't pay for their tickets. The local security jumped them, but they're no match for Bin, who desperately wants to see the turtles, and he and Man make short work of their opposition before Bin picks up a new toy, the freaky foot suit. Heading back outside, 3 more UMCM thugs try to ask the pair to politely leave, but they ask the wrong family and they are killed. Bin crafts a killdozer though and gets to work, mowing down everyone, including Man, on his quest to see the turtles. His vehicular manslaughter catapults 2 more UMCM thugs onto his count. The pair drive the dozer into the main portion of the zoo where 3 security guards try to knock them out, but through raw determination, they fight past them before 10 more guards ask for their money. But times are tough and money is scarce, and the pair manage to keep their free entry for a little while longer. After collecting some more money from behind the park's benches, Man and Bin add 2 more kills to their count before getting Bin some new threads, the Rec Zoo. And it's here the dynamic duo made a thrilling discovery. A horrifying one, but one that blurs the lines between unnerving and genius nonetheless. Bin can create other bins. Out of character for a second here, but when I tell you I lost my mind finding this out, I mean it. Like, I lost it. Serious laughing fits were had over the course of the rest of this level. Until this series, I hadn't played LEGO Batman 1 all the way through for like a decade. It had been a while. So this was like rediscovering that song you remember from your childhood that turns out to be a banger in your adulthood, but just infinitely funnier. What really topped this discovery off for me though is the fact this fake bin reacts like the real one, which leads me to the only logical conclusion I can make regarding these bin sentients, and that is that they are in fact bin homunculi and feel pain and emotions the same as the real one, which is made even worse by the fact that after they've outlived their usefulness they just fucking explode. Bin, despite seeing these bin homunculi as expendable, is ultra protective of them though, and fly kicks this goon to death for killing his new friends. Using his 15 minutes of main character energy to its fullest, he also kills these 2 thugs by launching a binarang underneath this small gap. Man, seeing how happy his bum-ass son is, builds him one final present, a real live controllable turtle. Bin becomes overwhelmed with excitement and uses his new toy to return the favour to his badass dad, giving him access to the JBL suit, and if you don't understand why it's called that, I'll give another demonstration. A daunting 15 thugs stand between Man and Bin and the star attraction of the zoo, so they get to work wading their way through the UMCM thugs and security guards alike, killing indiscriminately until they're able to board this boat and kick the ever-loving life out of it. Using these bouncy lily pads and avoiding the hungry crocs, Man dons the TB pie suit and uses it to head straight into the bottom of the boat. The boys drop through the roof and split up before Bin, who's quickly becoming the main character of this episode, not really, there's a reason why he's in the back of the thumbnail behind Chiller Croc, is attacked by Batman. The dynamic duo have to fight Batman, who got given his name because he's a man who looks like a bat by playing some of that good stuff. After bringing Batman down to their level, they beat him up a little more before 3 thugs try a final attempt to get the dynamic duo out of the park, but they fail. The cycle repeats thrice more while the boys bring down Batman again before killing 9 of his sidekicks. The Bat gets disorientated by the sick flow of Mike Shinoda's bars, and ultimately gets caught, being tied up in his own wings and mocked by Bin of all people. Really deep that for a second. Someone out there got mocked by Bin, the human equivalent of a crumb of bread. Anyway, deep and unsettling thought over with, the boys have 2 more animal-based criminals to bring to justice, as they go after the Wizard of Cobb and Cat, who escaped the cops by asking Chiller and Cobb to break her out of her cell we put her in because she obtained the diamond we thought we got off her because a cat gave it back to her and they need it to make their evil plan work? Yeah, why not? Sure. Upon arriving at the last known approximate location of Cobb, the pair find a load of dead people, one of which Bin manages to successfully finish off, which is a nice bonus. However, all isn't sunshine and rainbows as they're jumped by red goons and robotic revolver-wielding Phillips. The latter though will not count towards our kill number, they're robotic Phillips for God's sake. Anyway, 2 kills get added to the count right away as Man grabs the Aquat suit and is faced with a load more enemies, 4 of which are killed, 1 is a straggler from our first batch of 3. So they get added to the count, and I think another 7 got added, but honestly who's even keeping score at this point? Bin grabs the lead suit and sends this lone thug to a cold end as they make their way across this bridge, and add another 4 to the count before they finally get to fight Cat and Cobb. Now, this boss fight confused the hell out of me. It took me 20 minutes, and if you don't believe me for whatever reason, here's the raw footage and its timestamps. Bear in mind, I'm a 20-year-old guy being stumped by a Lego Batman boss fight. I think, above all else, I'm starting to realise how talented I was as a child gamer, and how genuinely dull my brain has become in the years since, because I don't remember this game requiring so much critical thinking. I swear to God I have to think harder than this than I do for the hilarious jokes you all come to this channel for. That was one of those jokes. To save us all brain cells, I'll make this shorter than the 20 godforsaken minutes I took doing this fight, and just tell you that Man and Bin got... Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. They got 46 kills, so we'll add 46 to the count. Oh my god. After thwarting Cobb's evil plan, all of his little Philip suicide bombers die a slow and meaningless death as Man concusses Cat with a Manarang right to the back of the skull, and the dynamic dimwits stand and smile at the sight of her being put in a coma for the next 6 weeks. Back in the Assloom though, and everyone's a little bit cranky, which is fair considering they were beaten by myself, a guy who took 20 minutes on a boss fight, Bin, a man who can't count the amount of hands he has, and Man who, well, actually Man did quite well. All in all, the boys did well and put away the evildoers for now at least. Their finances were bolstered as well, and the pair now sit at a healthy $810,000 exactly, which is a really cool number to be at. It'll definitely help replenish the dwindling Wayne Enterprises fortune following the real world's events of the Ham Night incident. I may or may not have miscounted this wrong 4 times, but my final number was 670, so don't tell anyone I can't count. This series is so goofy and fun, I love it so much. Thank you all for your continued support, and thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the finale of the LEGO Batman 1 serial killer run. Goodbye.